They told you that you need courage to act, that you need to wait for the right moment, that you need to feel like it. They lied. The truth is that your brain is programmed to stop you. The instant you have an idea, a desire, an impulse to do something new, a primitive structure in your skull triggers an invisible brake. In 5 seconds at most, your mind will hijack your intention and replace it with doubt, fear, excuses. The window between impulse and mental braking defines everything you achieve or let slip away. I discovered that 5 seconds is the time you have to act before your biology kills your potential. If you want to change, stop hesitating, make decisions. Face what paralyzes you. You need to learn the rule no one taught you, the 5-second rule. It's not a coach trick, it's a brain hack. And when you understand how to beat your brain's brakes, no one will ever be able to stop you again. Your brain has an ancient security system, the amygdala, that acts like an emergency brake. Every time you lean out of your comfort zone, it fires a warning signal before you can rationalize anything. This evolutionary alarm was designed to keep you alive, but today it hijacks you before the first move, before you get out of bed, before you make that difficult call, before you speak in public, before you start the workout, before you ask for what you deserve. In 5 seconds, the alarm replaces courage with caution. The fear of public humiliation, for example, is one of the biggest emotional brakes there is. But notice fear is not the sentence, it's the first sign that you're heading in the right direction. If you hesitate, the brake wins. But if you count backward and move before your conscious mind fills the void with what if, the circuit breaks. Most people spend their lives waiting to feel ready. But readiness is not a feeling, it's a decision. And decisions happen in seconds, not hours. The 5-second rule is simple. When you feel the instinct to act, to get up, to express an idea, to break out of autopilot, you must move physically within 5 seconds, counting backward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Action before your brain slams on the brakes. The countdown interrupts the hesitation pattern, diverts attention from fear, and activates the prefrontal cortex, the executive center responsible for planning and self-regulation. By counting, you stop reacting emotionally and take command. It's not willpower, it's behavioral neuroscience. When you use the 5 seconds, you replace "I don't feel like it" with "I am already doing it." And in that microscopic gap between decision and movement lies the difference between a life of achievements and a life of silent regrets. Maybe right now you're stuck in the same cycle of hesitation, reading or listening while your mind generates objections. The mind loves to create the illusion that tomorrow will be better, that you need more information, that you're not ready yet. That thing you most desire, whether a stronger body, your own business, a more honest relationship, always remains 5 seconds away from seizing action, but you miss the window daily. Do you know what separates those who achieve from those who only dream? It's not talent, it's not luck, it's the ability to act without hesitation when the instinct arises. Champions have a mental switch that turns off the brake. Losers leave the brake on and start justifying an action with sophisticated speeches. The difference between a champion and a failure is, above all, mindset. And mindset is not postponed, it's imposed. It doesn't matter if you're sad, tired, angry, unmotivated. The rule demands that you do it anyway. Do it sad, do it angry, do it heartbroken. But do it. Because action happens despite your mood, and movement is what changes your state, not the other way around. When you start applying the 5 seconds in seemingly small areas, like getting up on the first alarm without negotiating with the pillow, you are literally reprogramming your brain. With every choice where you act instead of overthinking, you weaken the brake and strengthen the muscle of initiative. The alarm goes off, your mind says 5 more minutes, but you count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and put your feet on the floor. In that act, you won the first battle of the day. And so the day stops being a succession of concessions and becomes a sequence of silent victories. The fatigue you feel before you start is, most of the time, a mental trick. Tired is just a thought until you decide it's real. The one who believes they are exhausted will be exhausted. The one who counts, gets up and does it, discovers reserves of energy that were hidden behind the mental brake. The tiredness you feel before acting is not physical, it's resistance sabotaging your greatness. Now pay attention to a crucial point. The 5-second rule does not promise it will be easy. Easy is staying in bed, avoiding conflict, postponing the project, waiting for the perfect moment. Easy is being controlled by fear. But easy leads to silent frustration, to the feeling that you have untapped potential, and that eats away at the soul. What the rule does is give you the power to choose the hard thing before fear decides for you. Remember a brutal truth: 95 of the goals you set for yourself will be achieved if you refuse to quit. Failure is not in the mistake, it's in the stop. The rule is the motor that prevents the stop. You don't need a year of motivation, you need 5 seconds of courage. And those 5 seconds can be repeated as many times as necessary throughout the day, creating a compounding effect of real self-confidence, based on evidence that you do what needs to be done. Many people wait to feel ready to face the dragons that guard the treasure they desire. But dragons don't go away. The best way to fight the demons that chase you in the night is to stop, turn around, and face them. It is to act while fear screams. When you use the countdown to face the music, you discover that the monster was just an amplified reflection. Hesitation inflates fears, swift action shrinks them. Because the moment you move physically, all the brain's stress chemistry begins to be metabolized into coping energy. Cortisol retreats, adrenaline is directed toward movement and not paralysis. In 5 seconds, you hijack the alarm and turn anxiety into momentum. That's what strong people do. They don't wait for fear to pass, they act with it. And there's more. The mental break loves to disguise itself as intelligent self-preservation. I'll tell yourself it's not the right time yet, I need to prepare better. You know that voice. It's the same one that convinced thousands of people to give up on their ideas one day before the breakthrough. 5-second rule unmasks that voice. There's nothing intelligent about postponing the inevitable confrontation with your own growth. Discipline, after all, is doing what you hate as if you loved it. It's waking up and training while your mind begs you to go back to comfort. It doesn't matter if you don't see immediate results. You don't train for immediate results. You train because that's how you build yourself. You don't skip steps because character building is exactly on the days when everything conspires for you to do nothing. According to all aerodynamic laws, the bumblebee shouldn't be able to fly, but it flies anyway. Ignore the self-limiting laws that your mind invents and simply act. The great turning point happens when you understand that the reward is not in the destination, it's in the journey. It's the daily work, often invisible, done behind the curtains without spotlights, that shapes winners. No one sees the repetitions you did when no one was looking. No one applauds the 5 seconds you decided to keep studying instead of scrolling through the feed, or when you counted 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and opened the laptop to write the proposal instead of putting it off. But each of those micro acts of courage accumulates a ballast of achievement that no crisis of self-confidence can erase. That way, when opportunity knocks, you'll be ready, not because you rehearsed the speech, but because you trained your brain not to break. Luck, as the wise said, does not favor the weak. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity, and preparation is made of thousands of 5-second decisions that you honor. When you become relentless with hesitation, something changes in your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who tries and become someone who does. And this identity shift is the greatest antidote to the mental break. If you define yourself as a disciplined person, the countdown stops being an effort and becomes a lifestyle. The voice that used to say it won't work now only whispers, and you respond with movement. It's not that fears disappear, it's that the hesitation interval got so short that fear doesn't even have time to take the wheel. You become an execution machine. The world may collapse, you may be stressed, frustrated, sick, but if your discipline is on point and your 5-second mental agility is trained, you execute regardless of the scenario. And once you can operate even when everything is hard, no one can catch you because everyone else quits when life gets tough. There is a chasm between what you know and what you do. Most people know exactly what they need to do to improve their lives: wake up earlier, eat better, upskill, stop complaining, take responsibility. But knowing doesn't move mountains, action does, and action is hijacked daily by the brain's break. The 5-second rule is the bridge over that chasm. It doesn't add knowledge, it unlocks execution. You don't need another book, another motivational video, another lecture. You need to use what you already know within a 5-second window, repeatedly, until acting becomes the automatic pattern. Those who win in life are not those with more information. They are those who master the instant between thought and initiative. And believe me, those who reach the top of the food chain had no mercy on themselves in that process. They hunted their own dreams, they didn't wait to be fed. There is only one rule: hunt or be hunted, create or be consumed by circumstances. When you're obsessed with something, discipline even seems unnecessary because you can't wait to do it again. But to reach that level of obsession, you first need to use the rule repeatedly in the stage where passion hasn't appeared yet. Passion is often the result of mastery, and mastery is the child of repeated action. In the beginning, what y'all have is a small spark, a voice saying, "I am going to be somebody." That spark will face hangovers of discouragement, days when you don't want to get out of bed, nights when fear sits beside you. On those days, you will have to be your own motivator, your own coach, your own hero. And the most effective tool will be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, do it. Healthy or hurting, confident or discouraged, do it. Because that's the only way the spark becomes a fire. There's a story I never forgot about an athlete who was asked how many sit-ups he did. He answered, "I only start counting when it hurts." Absorb that the work only truly begins at the point where everyone stops. The mental break is most activated exactly there, in the discomfort zone. That's where the rule proves itself. When your brain screams stop, you count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and give one more rep, one more step, one more attempt. Greatness lies in operating beyond the limit your mind set. And the reward for surpassing that break is not just the result, but discovering that you are bigger than any feeling of tiredness, fear, or insecurity. Remember, you don't have to prove anything to anyone except yourself. Public humiliation, other people's judgment. All of that only has power if you hesitate and give time for the break to turn criticism into paralysis. If you take the initiative before social fear crystallizes, you break the spell. Successful people I've encountered almost always went through a long period of doing work without apparent reward, sacrificing what was interesting for what was necessary. They had the courage to act, even without guarantees, day after day. They sacrificed entire seasons of comfort because there was a greater goal burning inside them. And each time the break tried to stop them, they counted, moved, and won. Another key piece: set priorities and learn to say no to yourself and to the world. The mental break loves distractions, but the disciplined version of you knows exactly what not to do. Knows you shouldn't waste time with certain people, with certain habits, with the endless consumption of content that only fuels hesitation. So you count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and say no to the misaligned invitation, to the sabotaging treat, to the calling bed, to the seductive self-pity. Free discipline is the one that sets parameters. I don't do that. I don't drink from that source. I don't go down that path. I'm focused. I have a prize in front of me. That clarity turns the 5 seconds into a sacred ritual. Some people see storms and only see thunder and icy streets. Winners see the same streets and put on their ice skates. Losers let life happen. Winners make life happen. The difference is not in the weather, it's in the decision made before the break acts. You control your commitments, you control your responses, you control the start of every move. Most people are at war with themselves every single day, a cerebral war where the battles are choices, and the 5-second rule is your fastest weapon. In front of the impulse, you fire action before the internal enemy sets up defenses. And don't be fooled, the most important victories happen when you're wrecked, when you wake up and don't want to, but you do. When you stay up late studying, even exhausted, because you counted and opened the notebook. That's what it truly means to dream. It's not the podium, it's the daily grind. Legends aren't defined by their triumphs, but by how they bounce back from their failures. And getting up demands that in the moment of falling, you don't hesitate. You count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and rise. Fall 7 times, get up 8, but without giving your mind time to consider staying on the ground. That speed of recovery is what separates those who make history from those who just watch it go by. The great illumination comes when you realize the rule is not about motivation, it's about taking control of your nervous system. Motivation is fickle, the countdown is reliable. It doesn't ask if you're inspired, it just orders move. And in the half-life between one and movement, everything changes. You silence the I can't and activate the I am already doing it. That is the purest form of personal power. The biggest mistake is believing you need to feel good to act well. Act well and you will feel good as a consequence. And so you train your brain to understand the power of action. You get a boost from taking initiative, and each success boosts your confidence. It's momentum building in action. So remember to use the 5-second rule to create a life where you act decisively and consistently transform your world.